What is up, everybody? Crocodile King here. We're finally back, man. Okay, welcome to my very overdue reaction to Death Battle Season 10, Episode 2, The Chosen Undead from Dark Souls versus the Dragonborn from the Elder Scrolls. And I'm going to be honest, I'm completely out of my element. I know that I am a massive RPG fan, but I'm just not the biggest player of Western RPGs. I'm more of a JRPG fan myself, but I've heard plenty of great things about these games. I really should get into them, but anyways, just based on some of the lore that I know about these games, which is absolutely insanely convoluted, I'm kind of leaning towards the Chosen Undead, because I do know that in the lore of Dark Souls, pretty much every time you die, you come back as an undead because Grave Lord Nito made it so that every time you die, you come back as an undead. But anyways, that's just based on like whatever little knowledge I have of any of these franchises. But as usual, we'll wait for the analysis, we'll make a prediction, and then we'll see the final result. I'm just really happy to be back recording these reactions for you guys, because God, I missed this. And I really hope you guys missed my reactions too. Once again, I'm really sorry for the long hiatus and the lack of updates in between, but I'm here, I'm back, I'm ready to get this going. Let's do this. Chosen Undead versus Dragonborn. I'm ready, man. I'm really feeling it. Oh man, I missed this. Oh my God, I missed this so much. Alright, we're ready. We are ready to start, people. Okay, here we go. The Chosen Undead from Dark Souls versus the Dragonborn from the Elder Scrolls. It's been way too long since I've been able to do this, but let's get this going. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Bum, 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 bum. Missed that intro so much! Woo! The Chosen Undead.
The accursed god killer from Dark Souls.
The last Dragonborn!
The dragon-slaying savior of Skyrim.
Resigned to captivity, these two demi-human heroes embraced their destinies and stared down the very gods themselves.
And devoured their friggin' souls!
Because these two lack specific canon arsenals and movesets due to being role-playing protagonists, for this death battle we're giving them everything they have and maxing out all of their stats.
Which
okay!
is totally possible in-game if you're willing to grind. He's Wiz and
Oh
I'm
boy,
Boomstick.
you can only dread how long that takes.
Weapons, armor, and skills to find
Let's
out
go.
who will win
A death battle!
Our
All right.
story begins at the end. The great cities of old have collapsed. The heroes are dead or mad, and the golden age is over. Looking out upon their decaying
Age of Flame
kingdom,
is
everyone would like
dim.
nothing
The
more
era of
than
fire
to
is
lay
gone.
down and die.
Too bad for them. That's the one thing they couldn't do.
The
Nope.
world has been gripped by the
Thanks a lot,
undead
Nito.
curse, turning anyone with a mysterious dark sign into mindless, violent hollows upon repeated soul-crushing deaths.
But there is a prophecy of a
That's
chosen
why you always
undead
die in
who will
Dark
journey
Souls
to
and-
Lordran, the home
and you
of
have
the
to fight to
gods,
get your
and
health bar
save
back.
the world.
Rotting away in an asylum, all it took was an assist from
Ageless.
an unlucky knight and a giant raven before one unlikely hero was ready to claw their way through their progenitor's forgotten homeland.
An easy
It
mode.
shows that as long
Oh
as
my
they
God.
can keep their sense of purpose, an undead will always resurrect at the nearest bonfire. Now they might slowly
That's why
lose
bonfires
their
are
memories,
important.
their personality, and their sanity, but the curse gives them as much
Yeah,
time
who
as
needs
they
it?
need to get good.
Undead are unnaturally resilient, able to survive being impaled through the chest. They've been chewed, eaten, and digested by what I can only describe as a toilet demon. And they can have their souls
Gross.
torn from their very body, because undead humans don't need their souls to survive.
Just pops
Great.
up that spicy Sunny D, and they're good to go.
Oh, God.
If anything, it seems like they get off to it. And speaking of souls, they can absorb the souls of their fallen enemies to increase their power.
They're a master with swords, hammers, spears, axes, bows, you name it. And that's without any formal training. With the right stats and setup,
Wow.
they can be anything from a cartwheeling assassin to a dragon-smashing tank.
To the giantest of dads. And despite the serious gothic themes of the series,
Oh, there's
these
Nito.
weapons can get anime as hell. Smo's Great Hammer is a ginormous mallet the size of a sedan.
Based on its size and likely bronze composition, it'd have to weigh
Those
over
lost soul
100
weapons.
tons. A lot like
Oh.
Goff's great bow, which can shoot pillar-sized arrows and one-shot dragons out of the sky.
Or my
Damn.
favorite, the Moonlight Greatsword, produced from the ass of the albino dragon and founder of sorcery,
Seath the Scaleless.
This baby's a universe-hopping anomaly that can fire powerful sword beams and just looks so cool.
Because of
Chosen
course, sword
Undead has learned
beams.
magic from the greatest
What
practitioners
fantasy
in the
sword
world.
can't fire
They can
sword
create
beams?
shockwaves, form defensive barriers, reflect damage, throw balls of flame, control mines, fire magical crystal spears, turn invisible, and toss bolts of sunlight strong enough to peel the stone scales off of mortal dragons.
So their
Damn.
pool of magic is pretty limited. So if it
That's
comes
a
down
lot
to
of
it, they
magic.
can shut off all magic in the vicinity with the miracle Vow of Silence.
Preventing anyone from speaking any spells aloud, including themselves. With this incredible arsenal and judicious attention paid to the stamina bar, the Chosen Undead is rolling their way to victory.
A roll so powerful it bends the laws of space and warps them through attacks like they weren't even there. Though sometimes it
God.
doesn't work and it's bullshit.
That's
Ah.
just a game mechanic, but great to use when you're panicking.
They've defeated Nito,
True
the
enough.
god of death, the bed of chaos, the mother of all demonkind, and Calamite, the strongest surviving ancient dragon.
That was when the Chosen
Okay.
Undead was dragged back in time to face the fallen knight Artorias, the greatest warrior in history. And not only defeat him, but accomplish the greatest feat attributed to Artorias' legend, the destruction of Manus, the father of the abyss that threatened to consume the world.
They've
Okay.
even beaten other chosen undead from alternate worlds, like the best
Yep.
buddy in all gaming, Solaire. Praise the sun, bro! And soon they were approached by these two slithery freaks. One said to link the fire, and the other said to let it die out, which totally makes sense.
Of
Wiz can
course.
explain it.
Don't look at me. Dark Souls lore is as notoriously convoluted as the flow of its time stream, which
Yep.
is why we have a true expert in the realms of nerdom to explain it for us.
Jocelyn!
Jocelyn.
You wouldn't believe
Here we go.
item descriptions, forum posts, and moody 2013 lore videos I had to watch through for this. It's story time, kids.
Gotta love Jocelyn,
The
she's awesome.
world was unformed and static. Then suddenly the first flame
First
burst
flame.
to life, and with it the concepts of heat and cold, life and death, energy and time, light and dark.
Sounds like a mythological Big Bang.
The gods
Pretty
were
much.
granted immensely powerful souls from the first flame, but their greatest fear was the soul possessed collectively by the race known as humanity, the Dark Soul. The Skyfather Gwyn feared humanity's immortality, and so sealed their dark souls within them. But as humanity reproduced, the Dark Soul collectively grew and the first flame waned. Turns out humans were naturally undying, or according to the gods' propaganda, undead.
Gasp! It's all a conspiracy. The undead curse was a lie!
Linking
Yeah.
the fire means using your very soul as fuel to keep the first flame burning. If an undead champion believes their immortality is a curse, they'll do anything to prevent it, including burning fragments of the dark soul to keep the age of the gods going.
So you're a pawn in a game played by decrepit gods desperately clinging to power. Well, that's a huge bummer.
They might
Yep.
look like a depressed California raisin, but in order to
Wow.
light the flame, their soul needs to be strong enough to maintain the whole universe and the flow of time for another 1,000 years.
Other similarly powerful undead across
Wow.
time are
That's
swift
gotta
enough
suck.
to dodge lightning and even light itself. Based on their dodge compared to this beam
could
and the
have
time
worked.
it took to reach them, they'd be reacting and moving at over 20% the speed of light.
At
20%
the end
light,
of their
okay.
quest, they faced down
Keep that
and
in mind.
defeated Gwyn, the Lord of Cinder, long hollowed from linking the flame 1,000 years ago. So, which will you choose? Link the fire and prolong the current age, or let it fade until only dark remains?
This is the biggest bummer of them all. Truth is, it never mattered. The
It never
cycle just
mattered at all.
continues age after age, with new heroes replacing the old ones, until the chosen undead was long forgotten.
Until the infinite march of time ground the world to ash. It was never about the happy ending. It didn't exist. It was about the struggle to get there. That's ultimately what gives us meaning.
Wow.
Hey,
Or drop.
You're finally awake. Welcome to the frosty Viking paradise of
Skyrim.
Visit the quaint Nordic
Oh, boy.
villages. Hike up to the throne of the world. Marvel at the beauty of Blackreach. Hey, what's
That
that
is
in the
pretty cool.
sky? Why, it's Macho Man Randy Savage. No, it's Thomas the Tank
Oh,
Engine.
the
That
mods!
is a dragon. But not just any mere drake. This is Alduin,
Alduin.
the World Eater. And he's come to burn everything to a cinder.
But fortunately for you, his path of destruction happened to interrupt your impending execution at the hands of those uppity Imperial pigs. That'll be the
Thanks,
worst
dude.
mistake this scaly monster would ever make.
It wouldn't be long before you escaped the destruction of Helgen and defeated a dragon yourself.
Then absorbed its freaking soul.
That could only mean one thing. You are a
are
being
a
born
being
with the
born
blood and
with the
soul of
blood
a
and soul of a
in
dragon.
the body of a Nord, or elf, or
Or elf,
Khajiit,
or
or
Khajiit,
lizard
or
dude,
whatever
destined
you
to
want.
battle Alduin and save the world.
In their tongue, you are the Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
In their quest to rid Tamriel of Alduin's dragon army, the Dragonborn became a jack of all trades, master of all.
They learned to be a master assassin
True enough.
with the Dark Brotherhood, a master sorcerer with the College of Winterhold, a master thief with the Nightingales, a master dragon hunter with the Blades, and a master good boy. Who's a good boy? That's a good boy.
Ah,
They
the
even
wolf
fought
form.
in the Skyrim Civil War on the side of the Imperial Legion, champions of
Mastery.
order.
You mean the
Immortality.
Nordic War for Independence?
Immortality?
On the side of the Stormcloaks.
Those elf-funded Nord supremacists?
Better than those jackbooted Cyrodiil fascists? But what else could I expect from a monster who steals from innocent villagers by sticking buckets over their heads?
They can put their skills to good use with an
Bastard!
absolute flood of weaponry. Not just the usuals like daggers, swords, hammers, and axes, but also special weapons given to them by the Daedric princes.
They're basically crazy powerful gods from the plane of existence called Oblivion. From that wascally wabbit Sheogorath, the Dragonborn received the Wabbajack, a staff that casts a completely random spell on its target, from disintegrating them to healing them to turning him into a chicken.
From Meridia, they
'Kay.
received the Dawnbreaker, a holy
Oh,
sword made
I
for
recognize
burning
that weapon.
the undead to ash. That's similar
Burning
to
the
Orion's
undead to
bow,
ash?
which can shoot fiery arrows that can blot out the sun. To cover the distance between the Earth and the
You can't
sun
praise
in
the
about
sun
6
now.
seconds, the arrow would have to be moving at over 250 times the speed of
Okay,
light.
definitely more than the
Except
chosen
this
undead.
isn't Earth and the Sun. This is the planet Nirn, and that's Magnus. According to the Elder Scrolls lore master Michael Kirkbride and his in-universe text cosmology, when you look up at the sun, you're actually looking into a dimension of pure magic. Confused yet? I am.
Yep.
Exact measurements here are difficult to make, but if anything, the distance should be much greater.
Speaking of magic
Okay.
bullshit, the Dragonborn can heal themselves, cast wards and destructive elemental spells, control minds, conjure weapons, and
Same as
summon
the
lesser
undead.
Daedra to help them out in a scrap.
They're an especially powerful mage because their mana recovers itself automatically over time.
Oh.
They'll never truly run out of firepower. But
Okay.
as a Dovahkiin, the ability they're most famous for is the Thum, or shout. By speaking the words of the dragon language, they can manifest their will into reality.
Like with the classic Foo's Roda! An unrelenting force which can knock your neighbors into next week. Or Soul Tear, which removes the soul from your enemy's body and stores it in a cute gem. Like so. Riva Soul! Wait, why didn't anything? Oh.
Student loans, man. Something had to cover the down payment. With
He
these
sold his
shots, the
soul to
Dragonborn
cover his
can
student
summon country-spanning
loans.
storms,
Wow.
Slow down time, and even call upon a dragon for help. Odahviing. Dragons may look like scaly reptiles, but in reality,
Did you guys
they're
know that
immortal
Parthenax was
demigods
voiced by
older than
Mario?
Time itself. They're the children of the chief god of Tamriel's pantheon.
The Dragonborn is an unstoppable force of nature. If they happen to take any damage, they can just drink a potion or nosh on a cheese wheel and be good as new. And they can carry up to 150 cheeses at once. My dream.
Assuming these
And you thought
abnormally
Link
large
had
cheese
deep
wheels have
pockets.
an average weight of 70 pounds, we can determine that the
Oh my
Dragonborn
God,
can
are they
carry
really
up to
doing this?
10,500 pounds of cheese.
And that makes sense, considering they can match muscles with giants who are
Oh
so
my
strong
God.
they can shatter the game spaghetti code to pieces.
The last Dragonborn battled the vampire
Oh
Lord
my
Harkon,
God.
ended Skyrim Civil War, and defeated the first Dragonborn, Mirak.
And according to the book, The Guardian and the Traitor, Mirak was powerful enough to tear apart the island of Solstheim from Skyrim's mainland.
By comparing the size of various countries on Tamriel's map, we can determine that Solstheim is a landmass nearly 1,500 miles in diameter.
Oh boy.
In order to move that much land over the course of their fight, Mirak's magical prowess must have output an energy over 300 teratons.
Teratons?
That's 3 times the impact of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Okay.
Not too crazy when shouts can get strong enough to shake the world itself.
It wasn't long before the Dragonborn confronted Alduin in Nord Heaven and put an end to the World Eater once and for all.
The epithet is literal. By absorbing the souls in Skyrim's afterlife, Alduin was powerful enough to devour everything. Not just the planet of Nirn, but the Kalpa, the entire timeline past, present, and future.
That's the level of
What?
unimaginable power the Dragonborn is dealing with here.
Tamriel is no stranger to great heroes across its vast, sprawling history. The Nerevarine, the hero of Kvatch, all magnificent in their own right.
But when you heard that shout echo through the mountains and the death throes of a dragon defeated, you knew it could only be the Dovahkiin. Dovahkiin.
Oh my god, that was a lot.
Combatants are set. We've run the data through
Wow.
all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Pause! Holy crap, that was a lot to take in. And, yeah, that's kind of one reason why I don't get into Western RPGs that much, because there's just way too much to absorb. But, I have a duty to perform, and so I shall perform it. Who do I think is gonna win? So, I was leaning towards the Chosen Undead, because they come back every time they die. But, the Dragonborn also has a level of immortality, and they have a certain artifact, or I forget what it was called, but I remember them saying that they can burn the undead to ash, and their feats of speed and power far outclass the undead. So honestly, I think I'm gonna go with the Dragonborn, but I'm not entirely certain. But this is just based on how little knowledge I have of these games. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dragonborn on this one, and if I'm right, great. If not, then claps to my past self for thinking the Chosen Undead would win. So either way, I'm gonna be right. So anyway, let's get this going. Let me know who you thought was going to win in the comments, because this is way overdue. So let's get this reaction going right now. 3, 2, 1, go!
Go and stop this fool who would let the flame burn the age of humans to ashes. The Ancients of Dark will do anything to snuff out the light. Save us, chosen undead.
Fight! Shouts. Liking the music. Rolling. Gotta love rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Whoa. You can take an arrow. I used to be an adventurer. Then I took an arrow to the knee. Oh boy. Now that's an arrow. Oh, slowing down time. He doesn't need his soul for his body to operate. Wait. Yeah, he just comes back. Oh boy. Whatever happened to no outside help? Blah, a dragon. Oh wow. Man, how's this gonna end? They're both practically immortal. Cool. Oh, there's the great sword. We're gonna see the sword beams. Oh, Dawnbreaker, I think? Liking the animation, this is looking great. Silence! You can't shout, but the undead can't perform their spells.
Prepare to die.
Save this world, chosen warrior! Blink the fire!
Blink the fire!
Let true dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
Was I right? KO! You die!
God, this boss is
Woo!
This debate was fascinating. The
Okay.
Dragonborn had a wider variety
was
of
right.
training, better access to summons,
Okay.
and magic that passively regenerated, as opposed to the chosen undead's limited pool of magic.
Valve's
Okay.
silence was a slick counter to the Dragonborn's magic and shouts, but it wouldn't last forever.
The Dragonborn was significantly faster too. The chosen undead could dodge beams of light, sure.
Yeah,
Ariel's
but-
bow could fire arrows that move at least 250 times that.
Yeah.
None of that mattered if the chosen undead couldn't stay dead.
Yeah,
You'd think
exactly.
The Dragonborn's anti-undead weaponry like Dawnbreaker would be an easy solution.
Dawnbreaker
but
was
the
right.
undead of Dark Souls aren't really the same as Draugr from Skyrim.
Skyrim undead are more like those classic reanimated skeletons. But remember the conspiracy. Humans in Dark Souls are naturally immortal. They're not actually undead.
Soul Tear wouldn't have been much use either, considering humans in Dark Souls can have their souls removed.
They can have their souls
without
removed.
dying.
So, why didn't the chosen undead just keep coming back until they eventually won? Like with any Dark Souls boss.
One word, power. The Dragonborn had way more and greater feats of raw power than the chosen undead.
Oh yeah, like summoning country-spanning storms with a single shout, or defeating Mirak, who split a continent.
There's also the lore. Both characters
Oh,
are
boy.
essentially mythological demigods in the same kind of vein as Hercules or Sun Wukong.
Oh.
Gameplay alone
What a
won't
reference
give
to
you the
that
best
one.
idea of their full power as characters.
So, let's get an idea of their max potential from the lore.
The chosen undead sustaining the first flame with their soul was insanely impressive. Considering the first flame is responsible for the core concepts of the universe, like energy and time, it's not a stretch to say it affects not just the planet they live on, but the whole universe.
But that's nothing
basically
compared
Dark
to the
Souls Big
power
Bang.
levels in the Elder Scrolls.
Let's compare
Really?
the first flame to Alduin. Both literally run on the power of souls, and both can be directly scaled to our combatants.
Alduin had
Okay.
strength to consume the universe, not just Nirn, but the Kalpa as well.
You know those planets you see in the sky? According to cosmology, those are actually separate, infinitely big planes of reality. Alduin was going to eat infinity. Multiple infinities.
In
Infinity?
comparison, the first flame is powerful enough to sustain a universe and the flow of time. But it can't be infinite, otherwise it never would have faded to begin with.
And that meant the chosen undead just wasn't powerful enough no matter how many times they revived. With that much of a difference in power, the chosen undead would eventually lose their will to fight and go hollow. It's not
Oh.
traditional, but it is a form of death in Dark Souls. The chosen undead was surely tenacity personified, but still wasn't enough to stand up to the Dragonborn's incredible skill, broken arsenal, and overwhelming power.
The
Damn.
chosen undead could only last so long before they flamed out.
The
Wow.
winner is the Dragonborn.
Okay, I was right! The Dragonborn won!
Thanks
Okay.
for watching. Stay tuned. We have a new
Woo!
deck we're releasing every 2 weeks this year.
Man, that
And click
was
the join button to
so
get new perks and extra
convoluted.
content. Planet level members even see death battles before anyone else, so don't miss out.
Alright, the next one, Killua versus Misaka. Killua from Hunter x Hunter and Misaka from Certain Magical Index? I think that's what the anime that she's from is called, a Certain Magical Index. But oh man, I cannot believe that I was right. Whew. So even though the Chosen Undead can come back, there is a limit to how many times they can come back in the lore. Ugh. And this is one, and like I said before, this is one of the reasons why I don't play a lot of Western RPGs, because the lore is just too much for me. But anyways, I'm really glad that I'm right. That music was unbelievable, the animation was spectacular, and the analysis was... it was bonkers. It was a lot to keep up with. But overall, it was a good viewing experience, and I think it was a good one for me to come back on, because again, the last one I did was like 3 months ago. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed my reaction to that. Let me know what you thought about the episode and my reaction in the comments below. You can find my Twitch, Twitter, and the channel that I'm doing voiceover work for, and Addiction, also linked in the description. And if you want to give me a follow on any of those, then that'd be greatly appreciated. But if not, totally cool. Thanks a lot for watching anyway. It's great to be back. I'm the Crocodile King. Have a great one, people.